Is Bitcoin maxing out, and where do we go from here? Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit the like, hit that subscribe, and let's get into this.
All right, guys. So Bitcoin is, despite the title, Bitcoin is looking beautiful. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at the charts first, see what we're doing on the technicals, and then we'll look at some on-chain stuff. So when we're looking at the charts right now, guys, if you looked at the last video, watch that. We talked a little bit about this Wyckoff accumulation that was happening here between 60,000 and roughly 61,000, a little bit more, but in between that range. Okay. And we broke out, we saw that nice breakout. And now we're getting that typical consolidation right before we see further highs. It's looking perfect. We're getting a nice bull flag. Looks like we're doing triplets as far as our ABC correction. We have our 1, 2, 3 for our micro, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 down. I would expect this to go ahead and continue upwards, breaking through this bull flag that's given us our ABC correction. And we go ahead and we push higher, and we push and continue to make all-time highs. So that's looking really good. If we zoom out a little bit, that's on the 30-minute. We'll just go to the 4-hour. And this is looking really good as well. I'm looking for us to complete our third wave around between $82,000 and $84,000 right up here. This is a typical third wave completion zone, and we're following that perfectly. So this is looking very, very good. And we'll look for that. If you're looking to trade this short term, look to take profits around here if you want to get in on a bigger correction. And if not, go ahead and just hold for the duration of this run, guys. Again, I have a price target of 120 right now. I'll definitely be taking a lot of profits there, and then possibly leaving in some, with the possibility that we go higher. Very, very possible, but 120 is my primary target for that. So this is looking beautiful, guys. Technicals looking very, very well. Again, we're on the 4-hour, and all of even our indicators are looking really good. We're getting up into bullish territory on the MACD. RSI, we are in bullish territory. We're right at about 50 right now. After going above 50, cooling off a little bit, and I expect this thing just to continue to move, which is really good. And you've seen some alts start to pump, Matic has been going, Engine started to go, you've had Algo started to go a little bit, Synthetics is starting to go. And so while Bitcoin is consolidating, we have our alts that are starting to pump. So all of that is looking beautiful. Now, guys, if we go on to on-chain is looking, I don't know if it's possible, but in my opinion, it's looking even better. Okay, if we look at on-chain, if we're looking at exchange balances, go ahead and zoom in a little bit to the 3-month, and continuing again, coming off of exchanges, guys. This, I've already said it. I've never seen anything like this. You have to go back all the way to 2008 in order to see levels here. We're looking at right around here. January 2008 is where we're looking for similar on-chain, or exchange levels. They continue to come off. And again, this is it's building this supply squeeze. And it's just supply and demand. And yes, demand doesn't necessarily go up in a free market, but when you're talking about a closed cap, we'll call it a market or ecosystem. In this system, Bitcoin capped supply. If we have this supply dwindling, there's only one thing that can happen, and that is buyers come up, and that's going to shoot the price up. In a typical supply and demand curve, supply goes down, that drives prices up, and there's only one way to drive prices up in here, and that's for buying to happen. So we have our exchange balances continue to go down. If we look at our net position changes, it's going to be similar. I just like to look at it. It's a different way to look at a similar metric. Now, our difference or our net change is increasing off of exchanges. So it's just you can't get any more bullish than this. We're going to have a few green bars in there. Let's zoom out a little bit. You're going to have some green in there, like here, 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 right? All throughout these bull runs, because that's just what happens when you have these pullbacks, or sometimes even before the pullbacks, because you're going to have, there's going to be profit taking. That's just inevitable. But what we want to look for is something like this, where we have increases of coins going onto exchanges and increasing and increasing. And that's where we would look at other metrics and see if we were going to get out of our positions. So again, this very, very good. Let's look at SOPR. We're looking at spent output profit ratio. Now, remember, we've looked at this recently. It's looking beautiful. Okay, when we are tracing just above 1 like this, in my opinion, and historically, this is when we have pre-bullish levels, and we're continuing to go up. Whenever we're in a bull run and we are tracing along here, and we come back and bounce back to the 1, this white line is 1, and we trace back to the 1, that's just a reset. Okay, taking profit, and we have a reset also in the price action, a pullback. And then we go ahead and we bounce up off of that. That's a beautiful sign. Extremely healthy, very good indication of a bull run. If we look at it a little further out, we'll look at the 3-year. I like to compare it to here, right around October of last year, September to October. Very, very similar, right? We were tracing just above 1, basically just bouncing off of that for a little while, consolidating on right above that 1, looking perfect. And then when we really start to get into the bull run, we will have higher and higher spending amounts for the coins that are being spent, because you're having such big moves to the upside. And this is what we're going to be looking out for. Okay, and I expect this to continue to move up in an increasing fashion. And like you see here, even throughout here, we have pullbacks, we'll call them, or resets, retraces back near to 1. And that's just very healthy. That's just so we can just continue to go higher and higher. So just like it did here, we got way overextended on SOPR, as well as on indicators as well, MACD, RSI. We had a sell-off, a correction, right? And the same exact thing happened with SOPR. We retraced back to the 1. Perfect. We could have, as long as our price action and indicators were calling for a support level or a new place to buy in, this would have been a further confirmation. SOPR pulling back to 1 in an uptrend. That's a perfect indication and a metric that we want to see. So we're going to continue to look for this, watch this, and we want to see some upward momentum coming from SOPR. So that's looking really good. Percent supply and profit. We were looking at this earlier. Anytime we are in this zone, we are in bull mode, 100%. Okay, and we had recently bounced back to this 95%, and now we've bounced off to the further to the upside, and that's exactly what we want to see. We didn't want to see it break down too much. It's okay if we pull under 95% slightly for a little bit, and then we hop back up into this zone above 95%. That's perfectly fine. But the fact that we bounced off 95 and now we are, let's say 96, maybe 97%, and so that's looking even better. All right, and so as we continue this bull run, we will continue to be up in this percentage for supply and profit as we continue up. So that's looking good. And we're just looking at minor fees. This is looking normal, I would say. Okay, just tracing along. We got a bounce off of, let's say, 1%. We just trading here, and as we continue to go up in more violent moves upwards, okay, starting to pump, this will continue to go up. But this is given us a nice base and a nice basically just a base to go off of, and we're going to continue this up. Beautiful, giving us some support. So guys, that is about it for this. If you have not already and you want to stay up to date on Bitcoin and the crypto market, make sure you hit that subscribe. We really appreciate it. Hit the like if you haven't, Check out the link. Check out empiretradingacademy.com. All things learning to trade. We have the OnChain course coming, so you yourself can look at this and you can be equipped with the tools. On-chain data, guys, is so powerful. It's one of the ways that we predicted and showed that 30,000 was the absolute bottom. Yeah, it's a massively underutilized tool right now. And it will only become more and more used. But this is a huge tool that you have to have in your data, in your tool belt. All right, guys, appreciate you sticking around, and we'll see you in the next video.